What's up guys, it's me, August does movies, and today I wanted to take a step back from music or animals or whatever, since this channel is called August Does Something, so I will be doing something. I am going to be ranking every single DreamWorks movie that I've seen, prefix it with that I've seen, from worst to best. I think I've seen 26 of their films. Before we get into it, let me just list off which ones I have not seen. Alright, for this list, I have not seen Shrek 2, Shrek 3, Shrek 4, The Search for El Dorado, either of the Spirit movies, Abominable, Ants, Joseph, King of Dreams, Flushed Away, and Prince of Egypt. But every other DreamWorks movie that you know will be here on this list. Today I was going to be making a movie about, a video about either this individual here or this individual here, but I decided to make a video about this individual here. So yeah, well, I have nothing more to say for you all, so let's just get right into it with my least favorite DreamWorks film. Alright, here at our number 28 spot, my least favorite DreamWorks movie of all time, this is The Rise of the Guardians. This movie sucks. It's so bad. I remember watching it when I was little. The animation in it looks so stupid and terrible. The story is bad. It's just not a good movie to watch. It didn't age well at all. Bad movie, and I think I'm going to put it here at the last spot on my list of favorite DreamWorks movies. Alright, the film at number 27, that's Trolls World Tour. A movie that I watched during COVID. It's an interesting concept, but it's a terrible sequel to an already terrible movie. Just a lazy attempt, a cash grab, and it also has James Corden in it, so it can't be very good whatsoever. Terrible movie. On to the next one. Alright, this is the most recent film I think I've seen from them. On this one we've got The Boss Baby 2. This movie was really weird. I saw it with friends, so I thought it was kind of funny to watch. Like, just for jokes, it was alright, but I think it's quite a bad movie. I don't think I would ever watch it again. It doesn't have the same, like, ironic, funny factor that I think that Boss Baby brought to the table. So I don't think I could endure watching this movie again, let alone enjoy it. So, yeah, that's why it's here all the way at the bottom of our list. Running it back for number 25, we got the original Trolls movie. Now this one, a little bit more bearable than Trolls World Tour, but it's still so bad. I've watched this one, unfortunately I've watched this one a couple times, but I don't know why they need to make troll dolls into a movie. Nevertheless, have the whole thing that they do is sing. That's just so terrible. This movie in general is just awful, and I would never watch it again. So, our next spot on the list, Monsters vs. Aliens. This movie has the funny little blue guy in the movie, but that's about it. All the other characters like Swamp Guy, Cockroach, Woman, they all suck and are boring. And I can't say that I remember much else about the movie. I remember the big butterfly character was a little bit funny, but yeah, other than that, not much to really remember about this movie. Not a whole lot I do remember about this movie. I haven't seen it in about a decade, but yeah. Not one that I'm going to be watching ever again, I don't think. Alright, next we have Puss in Boots. This is a spin-off that I don't think anyone asked for, to have a Puss in Boots as his own movie. Like, we needed that? No, we didn't need that. Yeah, Puss in Boots. I think that it's kind of interesting to have, like, Humpty Dumpty, where his origins are from, in a movie, but, like, I'm not trying to watch a movie about Puss in Boots. Like, the least interesting character from Shrek needed his own movie. And I think he got a Netflix show too. Like, is there anybody? Tell me, leave a comment in the comments if you're a real big Puss in Boots fan, because I'm not. I don't really care about this guy. I don't care about him much at all. He's just like a feline character type of guy, and I'm not caring for him too much. Alright, next movies we got here is Shark Tale. Now, Shark Tale, this is one a lot of people hate, but I think, like I mentioned with that Boss Baby 2, has that ironic enjoyability that puts it over movies that are just boring, like Monsters vs. Aliens or Trolls. I think it is definitely a little bit more enjoyable with Shark Tale. I think it's kind of funny movie. It's kind of like I ironically enjoy this film. But yeah, not one. I think the animation's really ugly. I think the characters look freaky and ugly and weird. So I don't think I'll watch this one again. But if you like it, I mean, I could see why you would like it. I think we're still in the point where these movies are just terrible and I would never watch them again. But soon coming up here, we're going to come up on some real classics. So stay tuned. Yeah, so number 21, we've got The Boss Baby, the original movie. Now this one, like I said, that enjoyability is higher. It's a little bit more absurd and crazy than the second film, which I think definitely serves to its benefit. And I think that I remember liking a lot when I first saw it, but I've seen it since I first saw it when it came out. I don't think it's too good. So I think this one belongs where it belongs, down here way at the bottom of my list. Alright, the film Turbo is next. There's a lot of funny things that I enjoy in Turbo. Again, Turbo, another one of those ironically good films. Like this guy, he's pretty funny. This guy's pretty funny. But yeah, I think other than the irony, enjoyability of the film, it's just such a boring idea. A snail that becomes fast. That's not that interesting. But, you know, if you really love snails, maybe this is a good movie for you. It seems like it's trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator of people with this movie. And I didn't like it. I don't like this movie. Didn't like it when it came out. Still don't like it to this day. Still a pretty sour excuse for film. On to the next one. Next movie here. This movie I put the B movie. So the B movie. Not really a big fan of this movie. I think it's just a little bit boring. Not one of the best movies I ever saw. Not one of the worst movies I ever saw. Just one of those movies that's just boring. I think that all the hype around the B movie is absolutely undeserved, and it's just kind of an overrated movie. I'm not really enjoying it like how some other people are, and I would cast the B movie away if I could. I don't quite enjoy it in the way that some others do, but yeah, that's my opinion on the B movie. Not a great movie. I think it's a little bit too absurd of the woman falling in love with B. A bee is not something that is loved. It is a foul creature. Maybe you do like it, but it's a bug at the end of the day. I don't think anyone could really fall in love with a bug. That's just a little bit too absurd for me. There's some voice actors. This movie's pretty good. But other than that, not a whole lot to say about this movie. But yeah, on to the next one. Alright, the movie Home is next on my list. This movie's coming here at 18. And the movie Home, you know, I just don't care for it. I used to love this one. This was one of my favorites when I was little, but it's really grown off of me. It's just not that funny as I remember it. There's some funny characters in the movie, don't get me wrong. There are some funny ones, like this fella here. He's pretty funny in the movie. But yeah, other than that, like, oh, also these guys are pretty funny too. But yeah, other than those individuals in the film, I think that, yeah, the Boobs is a funny little guys, but characters like the main character, like Gratuity Tucci is her name, not very funny. Not very funny, just super boring. The only thing this movie brings to the table is its little wacky characters, which sure it has best friend Kyle, but does it have a gripping narrative? No. Alright, y'all, How to Train Your Dragon 2. This movie, I know I'm getting a lot of hate for it. It's actually by a large margin the worst in the whole How to Train Your Dragon series. Like, you know, I like How to Train Your Dragon 2, but it's just so lame. Like, I don't know. It's like How to Train Your Dragon 1, perfect start to the series. How to Train Your Dragon 3, perfect conclusion. And this is like the weird middle child. Like, I'm not messing with this movie unless I'm going to watch all three of them together. Like, I could see myself rewatching 3 by itself, rewatching 1 by itself. Never, ever going to mix those two for the second movie. Never watching them again. Alright, Madagascar 3. Yeah, this is the worst in the series, to no one's surprise. I think it's got some funny characters, like the little seal guy is pretty funny. The tiger who goes through small holes funny. But everybody, all these other side characters in the movie, they're so forgettable. I feel like taking Madagascar 1's a good movie, great movie. You take Madagascar 2 concept, that's great. Go back to where they came from, because, you know, animals, they go back to Africa, because they're all from Africa. So, yeah, that makes sense as a concept, but, like, I think that other characters, it's like, dude, I don't need you in this movie. Like, there's so much just stuff that's like, okay, but, like, why is this happening? Who asked for all these, like, extra characters in the movie? Not me, that's for certain. Alright, y'all, after a short recess and a loss of my hat, I am back to tell you about my pick for the number 15 spot. This is going to be, what was it? Kung Fu Panda 3. I thought I read How to Train Your Dragon 3, but no, that's later. Kung Fu Panda 3. This movie, while I do think it's good, is definitely the worst in the trilogy. I think that it has the least interesting concept. I didn't like how, I think all the movies are about Po, like, not living up to expectations, and him beating his father, even though he already had a perfectly good father with Mr. Ping, was a little bit silly, and I didn't like that. I do like the villain in this movie. He's real cool. But, yeah, not a whole lot to say about this one. Alright, here we have The Croods 2. Now, The Croods 2, I saw this movie sort of recently, like within the last year. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a very, very solid movie. I expected it to be kind of bad, but no, it actually turned out to be really good. So I'm glad for that. It's a good, solid movie. It's pretty funny. It's pretty outlandish, but I think that's always what drew me to The Croods, was the outlandishness. But yeah, Madagascar 2 takes my second place. So Madagascar 2, I think this is a good movie, but it's just not on that same legendary level as the first one. I like the concept of him returning to his roots in Africa, but it's kind of stupid how the part that I don't like is that his paw has an Africa mark on it in this movie that it didn't have. Alex the Lion's paw. Alex the Lion, yeah, you know, Alex the Lion. Mr. Peabody and Sherman is a very good movie that I like a whole lot. I think it's very funny. I think it's aged super well since the original movie, and any poor age it has taken has only increased its funniness level, in my opinion. Funny movie, good movie. I think that a lot of the characters are really likable and funny. I really remember really enjoying this movie when I was little, and I still think I would really enjoy it now if I went back and watched it again. Number 11 is Shrek. I know this is blasphemous to put it this low, especially when there's a couple on this list that you haven't seen yet that are kind of some dark horses. Because a lot of my picks for top 5, I'm just going to tell you now, they're dark horse picks that not a lot of people would expect me to put at number 1. So Shrek, I think this movie's a little bit, and don't kill me, I think it's a little bit played out. I'm kind of done with Shrek. I thought Shrek has been so prevalent in media for such a long time. I am done talking about Shrek. I don't want to hear about Shrek. I don't want to think about Shrek anymore. I'm finished with the character, and I'm finished with the franchise. I'm not trying to ever see those other 3 Shrek movies, by the way, either. I'm not trying to watch Shrek 2, 3, or 4 at any point in my life, even though people say Shrek 2 is really good. Just don't really care for that whole IP, just in general. Not something I want to pursue. Cracking our top 10. In my number 10 spot, we got Madagascar. A classic film, one of their first movies I can remember thinking of seeing. When you think DreamWorks, you think Madagascar. This movie's funny, has funny characters like King Julian, Maurice. All the lemurs are great in this movie. And the main cast is really good. I think it's a movie that has one of the strongest ensemble casts of any of these movies. I think that Alex the Lion, probably my least favorite on there. No, that's not true. He's probably Gloria the Hippo. Actually, no, Melman is the worst. He kind of sucks. But Gloria the Hippo, Chris Rock, Zebra, and Alex the Lion are all funny and good. And it's a good movie. The Penguins are so good. I'm so glad that they got their own movie, which If you've been keeping track, I haven't mentioned that one yet, so might be. I think it's gonna be higher on the list. All right, 9, Kung Fu Panda, the original. So don't kill me. This movie, I like it. It's a classic series, classic film. The villain of Tai Lung, probably. I'm gonna not say that he's the best in the trilogy, but he's pretty good. He's better than the other guy from the third movie. But yeah, Tai Lung, everybody in this movie. This is a great movie. I think that it's a great beginning to the story. I really like how Po, he holds up all these things that people thought he couldn't do, and he proves himself to be a true dragon warrior by defeating Tai Lung. I think it's just a good movie. Solid plot, solid characters, everything's good about this one. Obviously, it's in my top 10. I like it a whole lot. How to Train Your Dragon 3. How to Train Your Dragon 3. Now, this is a good movie. I think it's a perfect way to end the series. I think I've seen it twice, and it made me cry both times. I know I'm a little wimp, but, you know, it's a good movie. And I grew up with the original. Still, I think it's the second best. I think the first one is unmatchable in quality. But, yeah, this is a good movie. I like the animation's really good in this movie. A lot better than the original, too, obviously. I think that the villain's compelling. I think that it closes off all the character stories really well and just leaves everything this nice, neat little bow. And I mean, they don't need to make any more How to Train Your Dragon because everything is all over and done with. And I think it was a perfect ending to the series. Kung Fu Panda 2, baby. The best in the series. Villain's the best. The plot is so much darker than the other two. So much more compelling, so much more interesting, so much more fun. You got that classic scene where Po spins the cannonball back at Shen's army in the sea. That is a classic scene in a classic movie. This movie gets certified classic status. It's so good. You already know what's coming in at number 6. It's the Penguins of Madagascar movie. I know people are going to hate me for this one, but Penguins of Madagascar movie, real good movie. Its funny factor is very high on the funny factor scale. See, my hand's off the screen. It's that high on the funny scale. Good movie. Solid jokes. Very funny jokes throughout the movie. Good villain. I love all three of the penguins. If I had to rank them, I'd probably put Skipper, and then probably Kowalski, then probably Rico, then probably Private on my tier list of the penguin. There's a quick little mini tier list right there for you. Yeah, I think that it's the best of the series, and it's funny, and I remember really enjoying it when I was little, and I think I'd probably enjoy it now if I watch it again, which I plan on doing at some point. 5, Over the Hedge. Now, Over the Hedge is a movie I hadn't seen until like about a year ago, since I was like the point, before I even had Sentience was the first time I'd seen Over the Hedge, so I saw it as an adult, and it was very funny to me. I thought it was a very funny movie, liked all the characters. I liked Turtle the best, probably, or either the main character or the turtle guy. Yeah, Vern, I think is his name. He's pretty funny. But yeah, I think it's a great movie. I think like the morals are cool. I also really just like the concept of all these like little commonplace animals that scurry around your backyard. They actually have a world that they live in, and this is it, showing it to you. Great movie. Couldn't recommend it more. Remember when I talked about a dark horse pick? This is my dark horse pick. Number 4, Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. Now this movie, as someone who grew up reading all the Captain Underpants books as a kid and was highly invested in the lore that Dav Pilkey built, I think that this movie perfectly just combines itself with the Captain Underpants lore. And I think that puts it on some higher tier. It just perfectly recreates the vibe and the kiddish nature of the books. And I honestly couldn't praise this movie enough. The animation looks stellar. It's so funny. It's a great film. And I think that if you haven't seen it and you ever had any emotional connection to the Captain Underpants IP as a child, go watch it because it's funny as all hell. Goodness gracious, the top 3. And we're starting off top 3 with the film The Croods. Like, if a movie has the character of Grug in it, it has to be the best movie, or at least a contender for the best DreamWorks movie. Every single character in this movie is funny and memorable, from Eep to Grug to Thunk to all the characters. They're all a guy and Belt, all awesome characters. This is a good movie. I think that it's funny. I really like, there's so many quotable moments from this movie. Definitely, probably, I'm going to say DreamWorks, hot take, DreamWorks, funniest movie right there. Maybe Over the Hedge or Madagascar as the Penguins is in the condition for that spot. But yeah, I think it's their funniest movie, and I enjoyed a whole lot. Number 2, baby, Megamind. How are you going to talk about a DreamWorks without talking about Megamind? Megamind, such a funny movie. Like, who doesn't love Megamind? Like, seriously, if you're not going to put Megamind in your top 5 DreamWorks, what are you doing? This movie is a classic. Megamind beats out all those other movies. People talk about Madagascar. People talk about How to Train Your Dragon. People talk about Kung Fu Panda. But nobody talk about these sleeper hits like The Croods, Over the Hedge, Captain Underpants, first epic movie, and frickin' Megamind. This movie's great. So go watch it if you haven't seen it. Like, dude, this movie is so underrated. You're probably thinking, but I kind of enjoy that, I can't remember the name of it, but that other movie that came out the same year that has a character of the name Minion. I kind of enjoy that a little bit more. But no. That movie's good, but this movie's better. This movie's a 10 out of 10 classic. How are you going to do it without the conclusion, the number 1 pick? Of course it had to be the first How to Train Your Dragon movie. This movie is classic. It's classic. I love this movie, fell in love with it when I was little. I'm super invested in it. The character Hiccup, I feel like, was relatable to any little kid in elementary school. He was super awesome. There were so many cool dragons in there. I remember playing with my friends about How to Train Your Dragon every day, all day. You know, this is just a classic film. How are you not going to go see How to Train Your Dragon and go, yeah, that's the best of all the DreamWorks. This is the best one right here, How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah. How are you going to go around saying, no, my favorite isn't How to Train Your Dragon. My favorite's The Rise of the Guardians, actually. My favorite's actually Rise of the Guardians. No, it's not. Your favorite is How to Train Your Dragon, the original movie. And get it through your thick head that it's the best. So, y'all, what'd you think? I bet you're not going to like this video. I bet some of you out there, and one person in specific that's especially invested in children's animated movies, you know who you are, fella. You know who you are. You're not going to like this video because I put, I don't know, whatever the hell, Kung Fu Panda at 10 over the Madagascar, the Penguins over that. I know you're going to hate this video. But yeah, I like it. This is my list. Make your own damn list if you don't like my list. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Probably will never make another movie-related video. This is just a one-off gag type video. But I had a lot of fun making it in the process. So if you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.